Do you recognize this monument? If Egypt has its mysterious pyramids that have stood for thousands of years in the middle of the desert, if India is home to the breathtaking Taj Mahal, and if China boasts the Great Wall, then here in Southeast Asia, there is a country that possesses the masterpiece we are looking at now. Massive, towering temples, grand shrines, endless corridors, and intricate carvings, all built from giant stone blocks. Together, they form the majestic Angkor Wat. It's no wonder this place is known as the Jewel of Cambodia, the land of temples. Just as Egyptians take pride in believing their ancestors built one of the greatest wonders of the world, the Cambodian people also carry the same pride. Do you notice the design on this flag? Yes, it's none other than the symbol of Angkor Wat itself. And every time people see it, one question always comes to mind: who truly created this greatness? We have every reason to wonder about the true builders of these monuments. Even with all our advanced science and technology today, we still can't fully explain how ancient people constructed the pyramids or Angkor Wat. How was this city of temples in Cambodia really built? And who was the true mastermind behind the magnificent Angkor Wat? Let's uncover the answers to these mysteries in today's episode of Mystery World Explorer. The true creator of Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat is a temple complex in Cambodia covering more than 1.6 million square meters. It is the largest religious monument in the entire world. Western scholars were once stunned, finding it hard to believe that the Khmer people could have built such a grand temple during the same era as ancient Rome. In 1586, a Portuguese missionary named Antonio da Madalena visited Angkor Wat. Overwhelmed by its beauty and magnificence, he exclaimed that this was a monument so extraordinary that no words or ink could ever describe it. What struck him the most was that it resembled no other building in the world. With its soaring towers, intricate carvings, and elegant details, it looked like something only true geniuses could create. Now, let's take a look at the overall map of the Angkor complex. We can clearly see that the most striking features are its temples and the narrow, winding corridors surrounding them. Angkor Wat itself covers an immense area of 162.6 hectares. That's 1.6 to 6 million square meters. Meanwhile, Angkor Thom, the ancient capital of the Khmer Empire, stretches across more than 9 square kilometers, making it the largest and oldest capital city of its kind. This means that what we are exploring today is only one among hundreds or even thousands of temples and monuments that make up this incredible architectural legacy. Angkor Wat is surrounded by a moat and an outer wall stretching 3.6 kilometers. At its heart lies a 3-tiered rectangular complex connected by long, deep corridors. The central sanctuary was built in the shape of a pyramid, crowned with 5 towers symbolizing Mount Meru of Hindu mythology, the sacred mountain believed to stand at the center of the universe, surrounded by a cosmic ocean. That ocean is represented here by the massive moat encircling Angkor. The central temple itself rises in 3 levels, each connected by endless corridors. The first level represents the underworld. Its most remarkable feature is the series of stone bas-reliefs carved into the walls of its corridors, standing 2.5 meters high and stretching over 800 meters in length. These carvings are considered the largest and longest hand-carved stone reliefs in the world. They depict Hindu epics like the Ramayana and Mahabharata, the great battles of King Suryavarman II, and legendary tales such as the churning of the ocean of milk, the battles of Shiva, and the celestial dances of the Apsaras. Every corner of Angkor Wat is blanketed in detailed carvings, so intricate that they almost look machine-made, an impossible feat for humans without advanced tools. Archaeologists believe the builders first assembled the stone blocks and only afterward began carving them. Evidence for this lies in unfinished reliefs still visible on the columns of the first level. Also on this level are ancient pools, once used as royal bathing ponds, now long dried up. The second level represents the earthly realm. It contains a large courtyard surrounded by walls, within which are sanctuaries dedicated to Hindu deities. This level also houses the temple's complex drainage system. In one shrine stands a black stone statue of Vishnu, while the walls are adorned with countless carvings of dancing apsaras, many depicted bare-chested, each figure unique, with no to the same. The third level, symbolizing heaven, rises 65 meters high and is considered the dwelling place of the gods. It consists of two intersecting cruciform galleries, with their junction marking the very center of Angkor Wat. At this center stands the tallest tower of the temple. Surrounding it are 4 square galleries, each corner crowned with a smaller tower. Together, the central tower and the 4 corner towers form Angkor Wat's famous silhouette, often called the temple skyline. The stairways leading up to the central towers are found on all 4 sides, each steep at nearly a 45-degree angle, narrow, and extremely difficult to climb. Inside the temple's grand chambers lies a mysterious room where a faint, drum-like sound echoes softly into the Angkor Wat is a magnificent architectural achievement that reflects profound sophistication in every aspect, built during the height of the Khmer Empire. It is considered the most precious jewel of Cambodia, admired for the grandeur and harmony of its architecture, the richness of its carvings, and the countless deities depicted on its stone reliefs. The central sanctuary of Angkor Wat rises 65 meters high, taller than any church bell tower in Europe built before the 15th century. Beneath its soaring towers stretch endless, cool corridors decorated with vivid bas-reliefs carved into sandstone. About 7.2 kilometers north of Siem Reap lies Angkor Thom, encircled by laterite walls that rise up to 8 meters, crowned with a walkway at the top. Each of the 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, features a monumental gate, with roads leading straight to Bayon Temple at the very heart of the city. Although wars nearly erased much of the past, the Grand Angkor complex has endured through time with remarkably little damage. The empire's glorious history is still visible today in the vast scale of its monuments and the exquisite details of its carvings. Its enduring beauty may, in part, be thanks to the durable sandstone quarried from Mount Kulin, which has helped preserve the temples against the passage of centuries. Angkor Wat is breathtaking, standing as the perfect symbol of Hinduism. Originally, the temple was dedicated to Vishnu, the preserver god in the Hindu pantheon. It is often seen as a miniature reprison. Perhaps its most extraordinary feature lies in the more than 3,000 carvings of apsaras, the celestial dancers of Hindu mythology. Each one is unique, with its own posture and expression. The question remains, how could people of the 8th century have created such a masterpiece, requiring such skill and sophistication, something that even with today's modern technology would be nearly impossible to achieve? The Bayon Temple was built in the style of Buddhist architecture. Each tower features 4 colossal stone faces with enigmatic smiles, exquisitely carved and oriented toward the 4 cardinal directions. To this day, no one has been able to fully explain the expressions, sometimes smiling, sometimes sorrowful, sometimes contemplative, that appear on these mysterious faces. Even scientists and local residents can only shake their heads in wonder. According to surviving archaeological remains and ancient records, the man credited with this monumental achievement of the Khmer Empire was none other than King Suryavarman II, who reigned from 1113 to 1145, while many hands contributed to the construction of the Angkor complex. Historians largely agree that Suryavarman II was the visionary ruler behind the creation of Angkor Wat. This is the very bas-relief depicting him alongside Angkor Wat, discovered within the temple complex after its rediscovery in the mid-19th century. Yet, as you observe this carving, don't you also feel that something seems a little off? Compared to the grandeur, sophistication, and complexity of Angkor Wat itself, the bas-relief of Suryavarman II appears far too simple, foul, faint, and almost insignificant. If he truly were the mastermind behind such a monumental achievement, wouldn't his legacy be marked more prominently? How could the creator of one of the world's greatest wonders be remembered by nothing more than a modest, fading relief? But here's the mystery with Suryavarman II, truly the man behind the creation of Angkor. After the decline of the Khmer Empire, Angkor Wat gradually fell into obscurity. Even today, people still wonder, how could such a monumental achievement have been forgotten? Some believe it was due to bloody wars that forced the population to flee. Others suggest the abandonment came with a religious shift from Hinduism, once practiced by the Khmer, to Buddhism in the 13th and 14th centuries. Still others argue that the city's water system failed, compelling residents to move elsewhere in search of reliable sources of water. Though the vast complex was abandoned and slowly reclaimed by the jungle, the local population seemed to have no memory of it. It was not until the 19th century, in 1860, that Henry Watt, a French naturalist and explorer, rediscovered Angkor Wat hidden deep within the rainforest. In his writings, Mawat described the temple. Angkor Wat is one of those rivaling Solomon's temple, and might take an honorable place beside our most beautiful buildings. It is grander than anything left to us by Greece or Rome, and stands as a melancholy contrast to the state of barbarism into which this nation has since fallen. Early Western researchers found it difficult to believe that the Khmer people themselves could have built such a temple, and some even assumed that Angkor Wat must have dated back to the same era as ancient Rome. The true history of Angkor Wat was later pieced together from evidence of architectural styles and artifacts, uncovered during clearing and restoration. Interestingly, no signs of ordinary habitation were discovered within Angkor Wat. No cooking tools, weapons, or clothing typically found at settlement sites, leaving only the monumental ruins themselves as evidence. This has led some scholars to question the long-accepted narrative. It is important to note that the reign of Suryavarman II coincided with the Khmer Empire's gradual decline. He is even believed to have been defeated and killed during a failed invasion of Vietnam in 1245. Just a few years later, in 1250, the Kingdom of Champa briefly occupied Khmer territory. Under such circumstances, it seems difficult to believe that Suryavarman II could have overseen the construction of Angkor Wat in the way historians have traditionally described. As with many massive monuments of the ancient world, such undertakings were not only built with immense wealth, but also through the labor, sacrifices, and even the blood and tears of the people of that time. Let's put this into perspective. To build the Forbidden City, one of the world's greatest wonders, with a total area of 720,000 square meters, only half the size of Angkor Wat, the Chinese needed 14 years of non-stop labor, employing 1 million workers and 100,000 skilled craftsmen. Or take a closer comparison with Vietnam, Cambodia's neighbor. According to historical records, in order to finance the construction of Emperor Kihun's mausoleum, which covers a modest 5,674 square meters, he had to increase taxes across the entire country by 30%. All of this makes it hard to imagine how the Khmer Empire, at a time when it was far from its peak of power, could have built something as vast and magnificent as Angkor Wat. Where did the Khmer people find the resources to achieve such a feat? And if they were not truly the creators of this colossal monument, then who was?